In today's video, I want to talk about what's next for my 2016 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. If you're a subscriber or you've been on the channel before, you know that I've made a number of small modifications to the truck. In general, my goal is to try to maintain the overall stock look of the truck while giving it a slightly improved appearance, a little bit more rugged, a little bit more upscale, but nothing that's too dramatic from that stock look. The biggest change that I was waiting to make on the truck was increasing the stock tire to an oversized, more rugged tire, and now that that modification has been completed, it's time to start thinking about what's next for the Tacoma. In today's video, I want to walk you through a few different ideas that I have in mind for next steps on the Tacoma, get your feedback on what you think is a real priority or what I should do next, or if there's something that I'm missing altogether, I'd love to get your feedback on that as well. So for starters, let's take a quick walk around the truck and show you what I've done so far. So the first modification that I made in my truck was I added a slight lift. It's got a 2-inch rough country spacer in the front and a 1-inch Toy-Tech block in the rear. The primary objective with this lift kit was just to give the truck a slightly more aggressive stance and a little bit of height. I think especially in the long bed configuration, the Tacoma sits just a little bit too low coming off the factory floor. However, I didn't want to affect the gas mileage or ride quality too much, and so I felt like the 2-1 lift was perfect for enhancing the appearance but not affecting the overall performance of the truck too much. And then it also maintains the rake on the truck. The most recent change I made was increasing the tire to a 265/75 R16 with these Goodyear Wrangler Ultra Terrain ATs. These also have a much more aggressive tread pattern and sidewall design than what you get in stock form, improving the appearance of the truck. Gives it a much more aggressive look. Another very simple change that I made to the truck was tinting the driver and passenger front windows. And you can see it just gives the truck a slightly classier appearance than what you get in stock form. It also improves the cabin, giving you a little bit more privacy and a little more protection from those UV rays. It's much less intense on a sunny day now. The last modification that I've made to the truck is just adding an OEM exhaust tip at the rear. Doesn't have any change on performance or any type of real functionality, but it does give the truck just a little bit more upscale look. So as you can see, all of those changes are very minor and subtle, giving the truck a little bit more aggressive upscale look while not having a significant impact on the overall performance or characteristics of the truck. So the first modifications that I'm considering making to the Tacoma start up at the front. This grille is the grille that was used on the 2016 and 2017 TRD Sport and TRD Off-Road models. In general, I really like the style of it, and I don't mind the chrome like a lot of other individuals within the Toyota Tacoma community. I think it actually ties in very nicely with this slight chrome that you get on the wheel, the lettering on the side of the truck, and then that new exhaust tip that I added at the rear. I think those all tie in very nicely together. It's a little bit of chrome, it's not over the top, somewhat subtle, but at the same time it's still not very popular within the Tacoma community. And while I like the look of this grille, I've been a little bit on the fence as to whether I like it as much as some of the other options that are out there. The obvious first choice would be to go with the TRD Pro grille. And while I like the idea of the TRD Pro grille, I feel like if I went that route, I'd have to replace my wheels with the TRD Pro wheels. And so it becomes a much more expensive investment. And so I'm kind of leaning toward not going that route. And what I am considering as a possibility, I'm saying about 50-50 right now as to whether to leave the stock grille or to go with the newer TRD Sport and Off-Road grille, which has kind of a black chrome look to it. And it sort of looks like a chain or something, like a chain link fence. It's a little bit more open than this grille with much larger gaps, but a little bit less chrome. And so it wouldn't tie in quite as nicely with the wheels and that exhaust tip, but I do think it would look pretty good. The more that I see those 2018 and newer Tacoma TRDs out there, the more I kind of like it. And so I'm on the fence, 50-50 on that one, so let me know what you think. The other area at the front of the truck that I'm considering some changes is with the factory bulbs that come on the truck. The low beam and high beam, as well as the fog light, are all halogen bulbs, and so you get a very yellowish light. Looking at replacing those with an LED to give you more of a bluish light that fits in nicely with the daytime running light. And so that's the other option I'm considering up here at the front of the truck. The next modification I'm considering for my truck is probably the least likely because it's very expensive, but it's also the one that I would like to do the most. I think it'd really enhance the overall look and feel of the truck and make it much easier to clean up the interior. That is to replace the existing fabric on the seats with a leather fabric. When you look at the seats of the Tacoma, they look pretty cheap and they're not that attractive. They're also not really any better to sit in than they are to look at. And I've got a 2-year-old daughter, and as much as I try to maintain a no eating in the car rule, sometimes it's inevitable, and leather would be much easier to clean up. Overall, I think a leather seat would be much more attractive, really refine the overall look of the cabin, it'd be much more comfortable, and then maintenance and cleaning would be a whole lot easier. The next potential upgrade I'm considering for the Tacoma is a new audio system with premium sound. And if you're familiar with my truck or you've been on my channel before, you know that I already have the JBL audio system. This is about a $700 upgrade over the stock sound system in the Tacoma, and while it does sound better, it's not really a premium audio system. It offers pretty poor characteristics, pretty dull sound, and I'd love to do something to enhance the audio in the truck. Looking into replacing all the speakers in the cab, maybe a new subwoofer, a new amplifier, kind of doing some research on that right now, and it seems to be a little bit muddy for the JBL system. If you've got the JBL system and you've done something to improve that, I'd love to get your feedback in the comments below. This is a strong contender for that next modification if I can find the right system. The last modification I'm considering on the truck is to do a winch installation. And if you've been on the channel the last couple months, you'll know that we've had a lot of snow and I managed to get the truck stuck several times. Having a winch on the truck would give me the peace of mind to be able to venture into the outdoors with less concern of getting stuck. Now, since I want to maintain the stock look on the truck, if I did a winch installation, I'd be doing a hidden winch behind the front grille and bumper, maintains that stock look on the truck, but gives me another tool in the toolbox in the situation that I get stuck. And so this is a very strong contender for the next modification on the Tacoma. So those are the next modifications that I'm considering for the Tacoma. I'd love to get your feedback in the comments below. If there are specific products that you love, or you think I'm missing it all together and there's something entirely different that I should be thinking about for my next modification, leave that in the section below. For more videos of the 3rd generation Tacoma, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching.